Magic applications. We all have them. We all have them. We're not proud of it, but we have it on our phones. We think somehow through the course of a day, what's going to happen is that we're going to go, somebody's going to say, hey, do a magic trick, and we're going to be able to be prepared by showing them an application on our phone. Most of them are garbage. Most of them are garbage. That's something that goes without saying. Most of them are pretty atrocious. Inject, however, the subject of this particular episode, is probably the greatest magic trick of all time. Not just the greatest application, but the greatest magic trick of all time. And today I'm going to talk about why I think that, why maybe you should pick it up, and maybe why you shouldn't pick it up. But here's the thing. Inject is a magic application. You probably could make a magic application if you had the knowledge to make applications, if you had the skill to make applications, if you had the ability to have that skill shared with others. Well, imagine the possibilities, which is luckily why today's video happens to be sponsored by Skillshare. You know exactly what Skillshare is. I really don't have to get into it in this video, do I? But I do, because you need to know about it, because specifically they decided to reach out to me and sponsor this video, which is, by the way, a great thing. So because of that, Skillshare is something that I want to share with you. And if you stick to the end, you're going to get a little bit of a hot trial, a little bit of a hot discount, a little bit of ability to check out Skillshare without paying a single thing for 2 months. But you got to stick to the end of this little shilling. So what's Skillshare? You may be asking if you are somewhat of a boomer. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands upon thousands of users. The premium membership gives you unlimited access, so you can join the classes and communities that are right for you. It's not like you're just joining something and you're gonna have to pick something just because it's there. You pick whatever you want, and it's there. The good thing about Skillshare is that it's cheap, all right? It's cheap. You see me shilling the Pigcake Magic Academy all the time. Well, guess what? Skillshare is cheap, all right? It's cheap as well. It's less than $10 a month when you buy an annual subscription. What? Huh? What's $10 a month? That's like 2 expensive soy lattes from Starbucks, all right? You could go 2 months without buying a latte from Starbucks if it means checking out the Skillshare, checking it out, and learning, taking the time to benefit yourself and learning something for once. Learning how to code, all right? Learning how to do magic tricks, even learning how to do anything that's going to be pertinent. It's going to help you out in your future. So why not click on the link in the description below. Help this channel out, because finally we got a little bit of an official sponsor. Everything's been slightly unofficial. Help this channel out and help yourself out. That's the most important part. Help yourself out. Check out Skillshare. Look at the link in the description and get a 2-month free trial just for your effort. Oh boy, that was fun. Now, as far as Inject is concerned, Inject is an application for iOS and Android. It works for every platform. You're not going to be restricted by the fact that it's, maybe it's iOS only. There's many different apps that for some reason they decided to only work for iOS when your boy happens to be an Android user. Don't they know that I exist? Don't they know that people like me exist? All right. Us Android users here living in the golden age of Pixels and Samsungs. We exist too. Case in point, this application works for Android and iOS. Now, here's the thing. What the app actually allows you to do, because some of you guys don't know what it does. Inject is the single greatest application in the history of apps, because it does pretty much what most of them do. It does what all of them do, as a matter of fact, combine into one super app. Now, what I mean by that, let's say you have the spectator look something up on their phone. You could have them look something up on your phone. You don't need to have your phone on you whatsoever. You could have your phone in your house. You could have a spectator look up something on their phone, and you could tell them what it is that they're looking at and what it is that they're thinking of. Let's say you have them look up on their phone their favorite celebrity, right? You say, hey, I want you to think of your celebrity that means something to you. I want you to think of a celebrity that's pertinent to something that's happened in your life. Go ahead, search them up, see the image in your head. Okay, perfect. That's great. And you could tell it to them. You could tell them what they're thinking of with relatively no effort. You could borrow 2 phones and do the same thing. What you could do also, you could make a prediction. You could say, I'm going to search something up on your phone. Let me search something up on your personal phone. No application required on their phone. You look something up, you put it down, you ask them to name anything in the world. Not just like like a list of things. All right, oh, name one of these 10 things. Name anything in the world. It could be something that's as personal to them as their third grade teacher. When they turn over their phone, they see that you have looked up their third grade teacher. Honestly, it's that clean. All right, you borrow 2 phones, you could do this. You don't need to have your phone. You could do it with your phone, of course. It's going to be a lot easier if you do it with your phone, but you could borrow 2 phones. Once you buy the app, which we're going to get to the price in a little bit, but once you buy the app, you're essentially getting a service. So you're getting a little bit of a hot service. A service, essentially, where you could essentially go to this website anytime on any person's phone and actually access the Inject method. Now, with the actual purchasing of it, you get a bunch of different effects. You get access to the Facebook community, which your boy has been posting in, which is, sometimes good. Sometimes people post some good ideas. Sometimes people tend to ask some questions because they're technologically inefficient. The point is that you get access to a community of people that are sharing different methods, sharing different effects, and it's good for everyone. And you also get access to certain tricks that are already included within the app. So you get access to a bunch of things. There's an any card at any number. People tend to like those. There's some sort of ESP predictions. You have a bunch of tricks. You have card revelations. Very easy to do. The one thing I don't like about the app whatsoever, one of the effects, and as a matter of fact, one of the categories of effects is something that you could, you look up an album on their phone and they scroll through the album on their phone. And you know what picture they happen to stop at. Or if you want, you could force the picture. I don't like that. Because I don't like the fact it's like, hey, let me look up an album that I saved online. That's creepy. That's weird. Why would you do that? Why would you save an album? And why would I be looking it up on your phone? That's kind of weird. I don't like that aspect. But luckily for us, the community is a little bit smarter than that. I'm looking at the screen right now of the Osmo Pocket that I'm staring at, which is a very egotistical thing because if you notice, most YouTubers look at videos like this, right? They're not looking directly at the camera like I am. I'm talking directly to you, even though it's harder to do. I'm talking directly to you, which is the sign that you should subscribe and like this video and potentially share it with people, because I'm not talking at you like most YouTubers. That means that I'd be doing this. You see that? That means that I'm looking directly at the screen because I'm egotistical or doing this. I'm not doing that. I'm doing this. Case in point, some smarter minds have created different add-ons to Inject that do cost a little bit extra. One is $20. One is, I believe, $4 a month. I think I said looking at the mirror. One is $4 a month. The other one is $20 to $30. But it's an add-on that allows you to do very similar things to what I just mentioned with that album, but with actual Google. So they're looking and scrolling through Google Images. They click on a picture. That's the one that they happen to pick. And guess what? You've predicted that ahead of time somehow, either on your phone or on a separate spectator's phone, or you could just peek at it. So it's a wonderful little bit of a method. And every single thing that you could imagine has been already thought of by Greg Rostami. Greg Rostami is the maker of the app. And as you can see, he has a strong line of applications such as iForce. There's one that's a doodle, I think. There's iPredict. There's iPredict Plus. He has a lot of applications that he's worked on that a lot of people have enjoyed over the years, which is why it kind of leads me to a little bit of a negative. It leads me, these nuts, to a little bit of a negative because unfortunately, here's a problem. Greg Rostami is obviously always thinking of apps. There's, as a matter of fact, a new app that he's been teasing, I think, on the Inject webpage that he teased at Magic Live. But here's the thing. Let me just give you an example from personal experience. Your boy bought an application years ago called iPredict Pro, right? That app was not expensive in the sense of comparing it to a jet, but it was expensive in the sense of comparing it to an application because it happened to be $99 for an application. Now, the effect was tremendous. Somebody named any card in the deck. They called your voicemail. And of course, you muted them as if they were some sort of IRS auditor. Sorry, ignored them. Like there was some sort of IRS auditor, and it turns out that your voicemail has a prediction of the actual card that they freely named. How good is that? It's as good as it sounds. The setup is a little bit lengthy, but it's a one-time process and you're ready to go. I think they stopped supporting the app. I think the app doesn't work anymore. Now, my problem was that I got the app for iOS, and I have since subsequently moved to Android. And of course, you're going to need to repurchase the application for $99, which I didn't do. But I don't think the app works anymore. I need to look it up. But from my understanding, I don't think the app works anymore. And this seems to be a pattern. This seems to be a pattern where he stopped supporting one app in favor of another app. In that case, that app was stopped being supported for Inject. And then now Inject, I hope, is not going to be having stopped its support because of this other app, which, by the way, also looks dope. It looks like another tremendous app. Gregor Stami makes fantastic applications. But as far as this one is concerned, I'm really hoping that doesn't happen with Inject because it's pretty expensive. $80. $80. Once you download the app, it's a free download on the iOS store or the Android market. If you guys are boomers, I think it's called the Android store now too as well. But it's a free download and it gives you access to like a really free crappy trick, right? That gives you an idea of what the service is going to be like. And then it's a one-time purchase of $80. $80, that's a lot of money. But if you consider the time and the effort and everything put into this application, then I think $80 is well justified. But that might turn some people off. That might make people uncomfortable in terms of, oh, hey, $80, I could spend that on, the rent, the mortgage, the light bill, the water bill, your credit card. You could do anything with $80. So to spend it on an application is a lot. But here's the thing. Once you spend $80 for the foreseeable future, at least until this app stops getting supported, which I hope it keeps getting supported till the end of time itself, then you're going to have an application that literally lets you peek at a spectator search. You could make a search supposedly on Wikipedia or on Amazon or on YouTube. You could search up a YouTube video on their phone, supposedly, put it face down in their hand, have them name anything or write anything down. And then when they turn over the phone, the video represents what they named or what they wrote down in case they think somehow it's a voice thing or it's any sort of Siri-like cue. The point is, the effects are only limited by your imagination. I've already had a bunch of time dedicated to being an extra virgin and writing ideas down in my little notebook pertinent to Inject itself. You don't have to do that because the effects that are already included are tremendous. And even the basic lazy Inject, that's already tremendous as it is. All right. Lazy Inject is what I just described. Spectator puts the phone down after you make a little bit of a search. They name anything. And of course, that happens to be what's on their phone. Now, of course, there's a little bit of a method that I'm not going into, but the method is perfectly justifiable. I hate tricks where the method is not justifiable and you're doing something ridiculous. And guess what? They put on the ad copy something that's ludicrous that could never happen. But this is completely justifiable, as you're going to see. There's even covert typing. Where the spectator could see what you're typing on your key. They could see what you're typing and you're still typing something else. The man has to have some sort of complex. He has to have something wrong with him because him and his group of developers here have literally thought of everything and they've added a bunch of features. So the most recent is Inject 2.5, where there's a bunch of other stuff. There's a bunch of little additions, a bunch of optimizations. The Google page that you get looks exactly like the regular Google page. Everything is tremendous and well thought out about this effect. It's $80. I think it's well worth it. I would give it 14 saws out of 5. 14 saws out of 5. You notice that the saws right there with what used to be the boot from when I got hit by Central American with their mid-size GNC on my motorcycle, which subsequently caused me to lose my motorcycle and be very angry and upset and handicapped for 6 months, I believe. So a little bit of a memory there. Case in point, you should definitely buy Inject if you get the chance, if you have the funds. I think it's probably the greatest thing ever because you keep it on your phone and you're ready to go at any time. You could borrow 2 phones and you're good to go. I've already said that about 1,000 times, but you know what? I can't tell you how good this application is. You're really going to have to test it out yourself and see if it's worth it for you to get. Oh boy, that was a fun one. I'm back to looking at myself in the monitor because of my ego. I'm back to looking at myself in the monitor because of my ego. But that was a tremendous little bit of a detailed review, right? I hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope you guys stick around. Thank you to Skillshare once again for sponsoring this episode in particular. Really means a lot to me. Really means a lot to me after my mom decided to leave me and say, hey, I wouldn't sponsor you, but Skillshare did. So thank you guys. Shout out. Shout out. That's it. That's it. I'm going to go figure out different ways to use homemade cold brew to try to bring back my dad.